In this video, we shall talk about mathematical sentences. But before we go there, let us practice translating or recognizing words and phrases that imply mathematical operations. So for example, for addition, so what are the common English words or phrases that imply addition? So that would be plus, the sum of, increased by, the total of, more than, and added to. How about for subtraction? What are the phrases, English phrases and words that imply subtraction? Minus, the difference of, decreased by, fewer than, less than, subtracted from. How about multiplication? Well, when you say times, you are multiplying. When you say the product of, you are getting the product, and the process to get there is multiplication. Multiplied by and then of. So let's say, for example, you say 20% of 200. So what is 20% of 200? So what you do is 0.2 times 200 and it will give you 40. So of implies multiplication. How about division? Well, divided by the quotient of. Okay, what about per? Per is something like this. It's something like this. 40 kilometers per hour or 50 kilometers per 2 hours. So there is an element of division there. Per. Table 1.11, verbal phrases and their equivalent expressions in math. So let's say, for example, the sum of a number and 5. So how do you write that as a math expression? N plus 5. The difference of a number and 54. So that's going to be, you can use letters to take the place of the unknown number here. So x minus 54. The product of 10 and a number. You can write this as 10 times x. The quotient of 56 and a number. 56 divided by n. Or you can choose your own letter to take the place of this unknown number. 1/5 of a number. Okay, this is of. Okay, so this one carries the operation of multiplication. 1/5, okay, 1/5 times w. Okay, so pay attention to this. Okay, so how do you write 1/5? It's 1 with a, what do you call this? A hyphen or a dash, and then fifth. That is how you write 1/5. Mathematical sentence. A math sentence is an expression which is either true or false. An open mathematical sentence is a sentence which could be true or false depending on the value or values of unknown variables. A closed sentence is a sentence that is known to be true or known to be false. Is this an open or closed sentence? What is that? Is that even a sentence? Okay, so this one is not a sentence. It's not even a sentence. So this is just a math expression. How about this one? X squared minus x is equal to 0. Is this a sentence? Yes, it is a sentence. It can be true or false depending on the values of x. In which case, this one is an example of an open mathematical sentence. It is true when x is 1 or 0, and for other values of x, it's not true. How about this? Triangle ABC is congruent to triangle XYZ. Is this true or false? Or is this even a math sentence? Yes, it is a math sentence. But is it true or false? Well, how can we tell? Where are the triangles? Well, let's say, for example, these are your triangles. Okay, so they look congruent. Okay, so if you were to move this triangle in such a way that y, the point y there will match that point B there, x will match A and Z will match C, the point C, the corresponding parts perfectly match each other. So this is true. Okay, given these triangles, this mathematical sentence is true. The equation x squared plus 1 is equal to 0 has a solution in the set of real numbers. Is this a sentence or not? Well, obviously it is a sentence because it sounds like a sentence. And yes, it is a math sentence because this one can be either true or false. But is it true or is it false? Well, this one is false. Well, think of any real number, you square it and you add it to 1, what's going to be the result? It can't be equal to 0. Because in order for this to be equal to 0, this one must be equal to negative 1. But x squared, for whatever value of x, doesn't become negative 1. It's always 0 or positive. So this one is a false mathematical statement. And in particular, it is a closed sentence. It is a closed sentence because it is known to be false. So this sentence, if you were to look at it and read it and listen to it, it's not really written in such a way that it embodies the characteristics of a math language. Well, for one, it is kind of long. Okay, so let us rewrite this sentence so that it becomes closer to embodying the essence of a math language. There is a real number x such that x squared plus 1 is equal to 0. So this one, between this one and this sentence is closer to embodying the characteristics of a math language. But of course, this one is a false mathematical sentence. So this one is a closed sentence. But you know what? You can even improve this sentence so that it is written in the language that is truly mathematical. So how do you write it? Well, this is how you write it. There is a real number x. Look at that. That contains many characters. But those characters are equivalent to these 4 math characters. There is a real number x such that x squared plus 1 is equal to 0. So this one is something that truly embodies the characteristics of the math language that we spoke about in our previous video. How about this one? Is this a sentence? Yes, it is a sentence. But is it an open or closed sentence? Well, it depends. It depends on the context. What is this? Are these the angles of a quadrilateral or a triangle? Well, let's say, for example, that these are the angles of a triangle, such as this one. Okay, that is our context. Okay, so is this a true or false mathematical sentence? It is false, because if these are the angles of your triangle, their sum must be 180 degrees.